Hi everyone, and welcome to Nutrition with Mel. Today we are going to look at the question of whether vitamin D plays a role in fatigue. The answer appears to be yes, and I'm going to discuss the findings shared in this review, which was published in the Global Perspectives on Vitamin D. Vitamin D has long been associated with bone and immune health, but growing research has been discovering this hormone-disguised vitamin in a multitude of physiological processes that may tie into numerous systems such as the cardiovascular, neurodegenerative, rheumatic, fertility, cancer, and diabetes. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, quote-unquote, that comes in two forms, vitamin D2 and D3, with D3 being the most impactful on human health. Vitamin D can be made endogenously, which is why some don't consider it a true vitamin, but it relies on external nutrients such as UV light from the sun and magnesium. It can be obtained from the diet too, such as from mushrooms, which would be vitamin D2, or from fish liver, for example, which provides D3. Serum levels below 20 nanograms per milliliter indicate deficiency, and those between 21 and 29 indicate insufficiency. Intake of 1,000 to 2,000 IUs a day is necessary to maintain plasma levels of 30 nanograms per milliliter. Though there is individuality when it comes to vitamin D dosing and absorption, so keep that in mind. During the summer months, 20 minutes in the sun with low melanin skin can produce 10,000 IUs of vitamin D, which is much more than that is found in food. Today we will focus on fatigue, a symptom of many disease states. In my early days of studying, I learned that fatigue is the first sign of illness and that it's present in just about every disease and illness. Fatigue presents as weakness, torpor, and a reduction in muscle strength. Mental fatigue is also considered in this review. The link between vitamin D and fatigue appears to stem from the ability of vitamin D to lower inflammation and oxidative stress, as well as its role in neurotransmitters, growth factors, and mitochondrial function. Vitamin D supplementation is able to improve mitochondrial oxidative function in muscle cells and reduce oxidative stress in the mitochondria. During oxidative stress, there is an increase in inflammatory cytokines, primarily NF-kappa beta, COX-2, and an induction in nitric oxide synthase, which can damage cell membranes. When mitochondria don't function well, this leads to fatigue, because mitochondria are responsible for making ATP, the energy that fuels every cell in our body. Vitamin D deficiency has been connected to the formation of reactive oxygen species, a common oxidant in the body. This is likely due to the role of vitamin D in the synthesis of glutathione. This is the primary antioxidant produced inside of our bodies. Vitamin D can also act on our genes, as it can increase the expression of anti-aging gene called klotho, as well as keep genes from unraveling. It starts to become clear how vitamin D's role in immunity plays into fatigue, due to inflammation being a process of the immune system and its role in fatigue. Vitamin D modulates the release of anti-inflammatory cytokines as well as monocytes. It can help with Th2 differentiation and the secretion of anti-inflammatory cytokines, such as IL-4, IL-5, and IL-10. At the same time, it also affects the differentiation of Th1 cells, as it can reduce the secretion of IL-2, interferon gamma, and TNF-alpha. When it comes to neurotransmitters, vitamin D receptors have been found all over the brain. Vitamin D primarily can affect dopamine and serotonin levels, and this is important because alterations in these two neurotransmitters have been emphasized in fatigue. Vitamin D also has shown to increase dopamine levels, and due to this relationship, it has been studied to support neurons in Parkinson's disease. Fatigue is a common symptom of many autoimmune diseases. Fibromyalgia, for example, is a systemic and persistent painful disorder which is characterized by chronic fatigue. Researchers have linked improving vitamin D deficiency to improvements in fibromyalgia fatigue. However, not all research shows improvements in fatigue from vitamin D supplementation. It is clear that there are many factors involved in fatigue, but research shows that it's worthwhile to check one's vitamin D serum status, and that supplementation is likely to be part of the answer, though other factors are more than likely at play as well. Sunshine is always the best way to increase vitamin D levels, but supplementation is great for those situations where this is not possible.